So one of the things that we're seeing with Meta, for example, is that it's really hard to get a firm number in terms of water usage that they're proposing and projecting. And what I've seen in my research is that a lot of these kinds of companies will say that their water usage is proprietary information. So when it comes to the authority of groundwater conservation districts, do they have the authority to get that information from private companies?
They do. They're permitted. Yes.
It's part of the permitting process that they would have to disclose that. Okay.
And the district could work out what that looks like, whether it's annual reporting, biannual reporting, continuous reporting. So
And are there
it would just
penalties?
be a stipulation in the permit.
Are there penalties, or what is the enforcement mechanism?
Yes, so the districts have enforcement abilities under Chapter 36. So in the legislature, House Natural Resources Committee actually passed a bill last session that would give districts more or increases the amount that they can apply to penalties, because what was occurring in certain areas of the state is the penalty was so low that the water companies were essentially they would rather pay the fee or the fine than reduce the pumping, and so they actually increased the amount that they could charge per day per violation. So they do have quite a bit of authority in that space.
And again, that's an authority that doesn't currently exist in El Paso County.
Correct. There's nobody managing the aquifers at all. There's no entity that has any oversight over how much groundwater is being withdrawn.
I think that one of my worst nightmares is that somebody would come out in the vacant land out in Waco Tanks, a company that can afford to build their own wells, to build their own desal plant, and just draw from our aquifer. And we have no say, we have no way to know how much water is being drawn, we have no authority to have transparency or accountability, and that's basically the current status of things, right?
Correct. And it is happening. So if anybody's interested, they can read up about what's happening in Houston County right now in East Texas.
Okay.
Thank you. Well, Representative Gonzalez, as always, thank you so much.
Always a pleasure.
We really appreciate you here. Adam, I think we have the classic supply and demand. I think for the longest time, we're more concerned about the demand, and we've ignored the supply, and I think we're now more than ever. It's always been that's our major conversation. Every single meeting that we have here is, what are we going to do for the future? And we don't have a limited supply, as we know, and I think some people felt that we had a limited supply, and this is going to be very important. Anything that we could do to understand supply and demand situation, I think it behooves us to be on top of it. So thank you both for being here today. Thank you.